Hello everyone, in this video here I'll be doing a demonstration how to determine if your vehicle's water pump has any faults with it. This can include leaking seals or bad bearing. Now this does vary between makes and models of vehicles. Some will be exposed like this on the outside. What I have here is a 4.7 liter Dodge V8. Now other ones could be driven just by an accessories belt but hidden under a timing belt cover, and then you have other vehicles which are actually hidden completely under the timing belt cover and driven by the timing belt itself. Now to determine if the seals are leaking on the water pump itself. What you'll have here is actually a seal that goes in for the bearings itself, so it keeps the coolant from leaking to the outside and also leaking into the bearings. What you have is actually a little vent hole for the bearings itself. What happens if the seal goes, the coolant will actually wash through the bearings and then they'll leak out the vent hole. So normally we want to check for just a little bit of residue on the outside here, just to determine if it is leaking. Now another thing you also want to check for too is that this does bolt up to the engine block itself, so there will be a seal there for that. Sometimes the seal can also leak on that too, so you want to just check for any residue around where the water pump assembly bolts right to the engine block itself here. So you actually have a seam that goes all the way around on the outside. Now another thing that's also a telltale sign is if your vehicle is going down on coolant, this may possibly be something that has to do with the water pump itself. Now depending on your vehicle's make and model, you might have a mechanical clutch fan on the outside, other ones you don't. Now what you want to do here is to check for any play in the bearings. As you can just do as simply as just taking the end of your fan blade here and just wiggling the shaft itself. Hopefully on the video here you'll be able to see the play when the pulley does move. Now normally if the bearings are worn out they will make a noise of some sort. This can include anywhere from somewhat of a clicking noise, maybe more of a grinding noise, or even a howling noise. Other times what will happen here is because there's so much play in the pulley does wander. So what will happen here is with the serpentine belt, it'll actually make the belt make somewhat of a little bit squealing noise at times. Now sometimes you can remove the belt that it does drive your water pump itself, and you can turn the water pump by hand to determine if the bearings are worn out or not. Normally what we want to look for is when you're turning the shaft itself on the end here, is to see if it actually turns smoothly, if you hear any noises. Sometimes if you do turn the shaft itself you might feel it hop in between the rotation itself, which would determine if the bearings are actually worn out. So actually here we just remove the pump off the vehicle itself here just to determine if the bearings are actually gone, the pump. Just to hear what it sounds like when you actually turn the pump itself, you can actually hear the bearings growling. Now if the pump is actually good, it won't actually make that noise. Now here's just an example of what the bearings sound like when you have a brand new water pump. Now just to show you what the vents look like when the holes come out inside of the casting here, here's one on the used water pump. You can see it's plugged up. This is where it actually leaks out the vent when your seals are gone. And you can see on the other side here, see a better look. So this is it for my tutorial video. If you have any comments or questions, please don't hesitate to post them. Also, if you're looking to keep up to date with my channels, also subscribe. And thank you for watching.